Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Memory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you an NFL Week 7 preview between the Green Bay Packers and the St. Louis Rams. Now let's look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Packers.
I think the biggest matchup, in my opinion, this week for the Packers has to be the linebackers versus the Rams running game. You know, when you face a Jeff Fisher coach football team, the running game is first and foremost on your list of things to stop. And also the play action pass, which leads me to my next point. You look at the secondary. They're playing opportunistic. These guys will have chances to pick off passes versus Sam Bradford. They just have to make sure they capitalize and get the ball back to their offense. Now let's go inside the lap and look at the offensive side of the football for Green Bay and how they utilize a gut running play to effectiveness.
Now, the Packers don't run a lot of run plays, but the ones they do run are effective in their design. And one of their favorite run plays is the gut play. I'm going to show you how it's blocked up versus a base 4-3 set. You see right here, we have the play side tackle climbing up to go get that linebacker at the second level. This tight end is going to kick out this defensive end, almost sort of influencing him to come out this way and taking him out the play. Why? Because we have this backside guard leading up into the hole to take out that play side backer right here. We're going to have the receiver work up and go get the strong safety. And this is the cool part about how it's designed. The quarterback reverses out almost as if he's going to follow the backside guard into the hole, but really it's the running back takes that belly step and then leads right in there. They reverse out, that mesh point is right here, so it's almost looking like a design rollout, but it's a run play, influences the defensive end, getting the running back a head start, shooting through that lane, following that backside guard into the hole to take that backer. So the way Green Bay does a great job of creating opportunities in the running game is sequencing the motion, making everything look like the next play or the play before, and that's why I think their running game can be effective if they decide to stick with it.
Now let's move over to the Rams in this ball game. With Jeff Fisher, a defensive-minded head coach, we're going to find out how good the nickel defense is of the Rams, as the Green Bay Packers put a lot of pressure on your nickel and dime corners and force your safeties to cover more often than not. So guys like Bradley Fletcher are going to have to step up and make some plays consistently throughout this ball game. He's going to get thrown at a lot as he may be on the interior. But when you look at the offensive side of the football, we know the Rams can run the rock, and that gets them inside the red zone, but they haven't converted those opportunities into touchdowns. So let's go inside the lab to see how they can do a better job this week versus the Packers inside the red zone.
We know the Rams can move the football 20-20, but they have to pay off with touchdowns instead of field goals. And I think if they utilize the bunch formation in the red zone or certain bunch formation concepts, they could be effective. We're going to have two plays drawn up, a run play out of the bunch and a passing play out of the bunch. Simple run play right here in the red zone, taking advantage of Darryl Richardson's outstanding speed and ability to get to the edge. Right here, straight sweep, boom. The tackle, the play side tackle, is working up, stalk blocking, and sealing the edge here. All three receivers are working up, creating that convoy, that wall that he can run behind to effectively get into the end zone as Bradford reverses out, pitches the football. Over here in the passing game, the simplest form of deception is the rub route or the pick plays, and the bunch provides that. That's why some people love it, because it gives that natural pick, that natural rub, and creates open space for wide receivers. Middle guy is going to shoot straight up and work his way to the back of the end zone. So let's say this is the back of the end zone. He's going to come within a yard of the end line. Inside receiver is sprinting out to the flat. That could be a quick throw. Outside receiver is working his way to the inside and run that snag route where he can snag it back out depending on man or zone. If it's zone, he's going to settle down or keep moving or running through it. If it's man, he breaks that off and comes back outside. Running back picks up the defensive end, helps out with that defensive end. Bradford makes a quick dash and makes a quick throw. Could possibly lead to 7 points either way. So I think utilizing a bunch in the red zone could help the Rams get into the red zone more so this week versus the Green Bay Packers.
In order to stop the spread offensive attack, you got to blow it up from within. So I think the Rams defensive tackles have to have a big day versus the Green Bay Packers offensive line. And for the Packers, you look at Randall Cobb, playmaker, get this guy the football, continue to find creative ways to get him involved in a game plan outside of returns. Now let's look at the personnel breakdown in this ball game, and I actually like the way Sam Bradford plays the game. I think he's a true asset to his offense and keeps that offense on pace, so that's why I gave them a check. Everywhere else, you see the Rams have an opportunity, but the Packers do have a very good secondary, and that could be a problem for the Rams wide receivers. I like the Rams in this game. I think their special teams is very solid. Offensively, they can run the football, and that chews up the time of possession, and it forces Green Bay to maximize their own possessions with touchdowns. And when you have a one-dimensional offense going against an aggressive defensive front four and secondary players that can jump passes and make plays on the ball, that is not a recipe for success for the Packers. I also want to give a huge shout out to Packer fan forums and Ram fan forums for always showing football game plan support.